Welcome everyone. My name is Gabby Singh and I work on the product growth team here at Turnitin. And this is the third of 5 sessions in our summer integrity series. And each week we're exploring how educators can weave in academic integrity into the student journey. So today we're midway through our series and we're reviewing the 5 tips on using technology to encourage original writing. And in the subsequent weeks, we've got a few different great hosts to address some more timely topics around integrity. And they're intended to be really short and informative and valuable for anyone interested in exploring more about weaving integrity into the academic journey for students. And today, the team here, and Megan and Tyler are with me, are going to be reviewing some tips. You'll be muted, but please stay active with us on chat, and they'll try to answer questions as we go, or we'll save some time at the end as well. So let's begin. The first of our 5 updates today is around a somewhat old Turnitin hack that has been in wide circulation in social media for a while, and it's this idea of using white quotes. So let's look here. I'm going to start my video as I talk about this. So in the similarity report, we can see that the score here is listed at 15%. However, perhaps a student used quotes and cited their source. Therefore, instructors like to use that filter. And then if that's the case, we've got maybe a more accurate number of 7%. However, the flags here show that there's some hidden text. What we're revealing is that the student has put in some white font quotes. So if that filter was used, then that quoted material might just slip right under the radar for the instructor. So that's why we have added those additional flags to help show active misconduct, misconduct, so the instructor is alerted when the white font quotes are being used. And our second update is around using white font regular text. So again, a little bit of a similar story here. I can pop into a similarity report and it evaluates the matches. And I can see that about 15% similarity score here. And I can click through the matches and look at them. However, those flags now are showing some hidden text. If we scroll down to the bottom, there's a bunch of hidden text at the bottom of the paper. To the naked eye, this is undetectable. You're wondering why a student would do such a thing. Well, the similarity score is a percentage. And so what the student is doing is manipulating the size of the content so the percentage that's similar is smaller. So just know these tricks, they don't work, and we will be alerting you to them by putting that 0 or that 1 or that 2 up there, so you know to check out that activity if it's showing up for that flag. All right, and our third update is around paraphrasing from obscure journals. Now, Turnitin can already detect when something is paraphrased. So if you were with us last week, we did an experiment using a text spinner, or a free tool that helps students paraphrase plagiarized work. And this is a result of that experiment. So this content here is still matched to the source. Even after we used or paraphrased that content, you can still see it's all in one color, pointing to my source paper here. So what some intrepid entrepreneurial students do is attempt to reuse some old content or something obscure or maybe out of circulation, and they're anticipating that the material might be a little old or on the fringe and won't match the Turnitin database. Now, first, I just want to mention that Turnitin retains historical copies of the internet going back, I think we're up to 15 years now. And Turnitin also captures and retains journal content, even from more of the obscure journals or unusual journals. And here's a sampling here of some that I just noticed recently that we capture. So if I thought I might borrow some content from the Croatian Journal of Forest Engineering, well, Turnitin would show the similarity in that content. Our fourth update is around images inside of a student's submission or their text. Now, We're looking at a similarity report here again. Everything looks usual. There are the matches, and now you can see here, I'm gonna look at the matches that are showing up, and I'm gonna drag my mouse over that content. You notice it just skipped over that paragraph. And the reason for that is this is a known trick that students do, and that same content is dropped at the bottom. You can see it matches at the bottom. Students will take an image of some maybe unsighted text or maybe plagiarized work and embed the image into the flow of the document. So again, the naked eye might not see it, but they're hoping then that if it's an image, the database won't match to it. So this is something that you want to be out on the lookout for. And we are working to add this as one of our flags in the future. It's not something that's on our roadmap yet, but we're working to add that capability as well so you can know when that's happening. For now, just if you have any doubt, just drag your mouse down really quickly and see if you have any jumps. And at that moment, then you can investigate to see if you have images embedded in the text. All right, are we already on 5? Our final update is around the growing problem of contract cheating. Now, contract cheating is an industry term used to describe when a student submits an assignment that was written or authored by someone else. And this has been an issue up until now because when you look at the similarity report with Turnitin, all of this is about matching. This is content that matches something else that exists in the world. But when a student uses fresh content that's unique, that was specifically written for the student, then that's not actually going to be surfaced by the Turnitin that you might know of. So, to get an idea of the size of this issue and what this really looks like, I encourage you to just go into Google, type in, "help me write my essay," and instead of getting tips and tricks on revisions and drafting, you're going to see hundreds of companies that are set up to do students' assignments for them for a very low cost. And this is all fresh work that students can pay for just by adding in their credit card number. So this is an issue that first landed on our map here in education sector in about 2015 when a set of schools were found to have graduated students who were customers of contract cheating websites. And so it was kind of a crisis at that time, and those schools reached out to Turnitin and asked us to partner with them to help find a solution to detect and deter contract cheating. I wanted to share this article as well. So 2019, the New York Times published a big story about the size of the problem in the industry. In general, research shows that the range is around 6 to 15%. So that means that 6 to 15% of every assignment turned into a college or university is sourced from some sort of contract cheating behavior. Now, it could be everything from going to the marketplace and putting in your credit card number, or mowing the lawn while your spouse writes your paper for you. Money doesn't have to be exchanged. It's just someone else actually doing the work. And here in this particular research, I'll just point out that this researcher is saying it's about 7%, and that was about 2 years ago. Now, since the world has changed significantly, including and especially in education and the way we deliver and manage education, that number has increased quite a bit. That's what we're hearing from our partner schools over the last year. So today's update around that is just to be aware first that it's happening. Oftentimes you can get to know a student pretty well in their writing and then start to get the feel like, I don't know if Megan wrote this, and then that's the first thing, is just be aware that this could be happening. And it does happen quite a bit. And there are a number of methods to help you understand when a student is not the author of the work that they submitted. Next week, we're going to actually look at specific data pieces that will help you make a confident determination. I want to mention Turnitin does offer a full spectrum solution that can provide insights to help support you with contract cheating detection. However, next week we were going to share insights and considerations that go beyond the Turnitin solution. So it's more helpful for anyone that is concerned about this topic and isn't just about our specific solution. And we have a phenomenal speaker coming next week to talk about that. He is brilliant and he understands forensic linguistic analysis in higher education to a very high degree. I love hearing him talk. And because of that, we're actually making next week's session a little bit longer. So I wanted to make sure you got the full value of his knowledge and understanding of the skills that he has. So those are the 5 updates for today. I also wanted to mention Turnitin offers some capabilities to help detect student collusion in student code that's turned into computer science courses. It's not something we covered today, but we also have that. And here, Turnitin, all of us are educators, and we want very much to continue our development and innovation to bring tools that can sincerely help support student outcomes and student learning. But concurrent to that, we will continue to evolve to help with detection and help you understand when students are taking shortcuts. So we just looked at the tips and tricks and technology to encourage original writing, and these really focus on helping alert you so that you can get students back on track with in their academic progress early on. And the quicker you know about it, the quicker you can intervene, find out the reasons why, and help them succeed in their career and in life. So now we have time for some questions. Megan, are there any that you wanted me to address?
Thanks, Gabby. Yeah, so just a reminder, everybody, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat now. One question we did get was, how can I be proactive in talking about these trends with my students?
Oh, that is a great and an interesting question. Sometimes faculty are a little hesitant to talk about these things with their students because their worry is they don't actually want to educate students that these tricks and tools are out there, and thereby increasing the chances of them being used. However, many thought leaders across the globe, including our partners, some of our partner schools and the partner schools inside of the ICAI, and that's the International Center for Academic Integrity, do recommend having an open and honest communication with your students about these topics. And specifically, they recommend that you work to shift the topic to that of character and integrity and the value of doing the work. There is an annual event that they help support called the ICAI International Day Against Contract Cheating, in which schools across the world participate. It's in October, where all these schools help encourage students to take this pledge of integrity. My personal favorite was the campaign called Donut Cheat, where they handed out donuts, but what they really did was bring students into a conversation and encourage them to actively reflect on their decisions around how their assignments are completed. So we can share links or just do a search for ICAI integrity or International Day Against Contract Cheating, and you'll find more resources and support for that. Any other topics or questions I can help with, Megan?
Yeah, can you actually review the white font quotes one more time?
Sure.
And then additionally, how Turnitin solutions detect contract cheating?
Sure. So the white font quotes, basically it is, we can get a little bit further here in my video. There we go. So the solution itself, if a student has added white font quotes into their document, they upload it through your course. You look at the Turnitin similarity report, you will see a 1 or possibly a 2 in this flag. You click on that, it will say hidden text. And then you will look at the body of the paper, find the flag there, and it'll highlight what was white and make it red so you can see the white font quote was placed there. That's the reason they're doing that. Students are counting on the instructor. I was going to see if I can find they're counting on the instructor on setting up a filter that says exclude quoted material from the score. In that way, that content will slide under detection. And it makes sense. A lot of instructors think, if the student has done everything right, if they've put the quotes around it, they've cited it, I don't want the similarity of score to highlight that. I don't want that factored in, which makes total sense. But the reason we don't have that set up initially by default is because we want you to be able to see behaviors like this if they're happening. So in general, we tend to recommend you don't have that automatically checked in your default settings, and first look at the full score, and then you can check it to kind of refine it to make it something that's meaningful for you. Anything else, Megan?
Great. And then, can you just review kind of how our solutions detect contract cheating and that last piece you were talking about?
Ooh, that's a big, that's a big topic. I'm trying to think of a summary way to answer that. We are looking at a number of details around the student writing that could indicate something is happening. And all Turnitin does is share some information that could then help you determine or make a decision around the paper or the integrity of the paper. One thing I'm being very careful to speak about is that Turnitin never ascribes guilt to any student. We're all about just providing insights so that you have that information and then you're able to make decisions quickly and in a very scalable fashion. The same is true with contract cheating. We're helping provide details or insights that then will allow you to understand that. It's a really big topic. So I hope that you take time to come next week, or if you can't make it next week, we'll send out the video link afterwards. And such an excellent speaker coming next week, and he will really talk in depth about how we're able to do that. But more than that, outside of the tool, just in general, some methods that will help you with that.
Great, thanks. I think that's all of the questions in the chat. I will drop a blog post from our Turnitin team about identifying contract cheating early in your organization. I'll put that in the chat, and I'll also share that in our follow-up email.
Oh, thanks, Megan. Everyone, thanks for joining us today. If these kind of really short meetings work for you, let us know. Also, if you've got specific topics you'd like the team to work on or help deliver for you, please let us know. We really want to be able to offer you value. Next two sessions are going to be great. Megan's going to put a link in the chat if you want to register for those. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great week and see you next week.